here in South Jersey at a recently completed project of a very large upscale luxury vinyl swimming pool, freeform in design with a sun shelf, multiple benches, and a PebbleTech spa. Some of the key materials we have on this project, there's Marmiro marble, both on the coping and on the patio. We'll take a look at the coping here in a little bit, but it's actually templated material, very large scale, very expensive to do with a custom bullnose edging on the interior. The spa is wrapped in a Marmiro stone, split face veneer, completely around the spa, and the coping itself is also double bullnosed, templated to fit perfectly and symmetrically as well. So one of the key things we have here on our luxury vinyl pool is we have a custom all concrete spa with a PebbleTech interior finish, and it's polished. So the interior of that spa is extremely smooth. You don't get your bathing suit caught on it. Women don't get their hair stuck, any of that stuff. Oftentimes people come to us asking for a traditional gunite swimming pool, and they have the vision of this type of swimming pool for a fraction of the cost, but all of the amenities and functionality as a traditional gunite pool, especially with sun shelves, benches, steps, depth of pool. But with the vinyl, the finish is much more smooth and much less maintenance, and renovation costs in the future are considerably less as well. So this vinyl liner pool is a concrete wall structure, and we actually modified the pool in our wall forming system to accommodate the specific shape that the customer wanted and the specific size, which is over 900 square feet, which is pretty uncommon in the vinyl pool industry, especially for a shape like this behind us. So it's based on a circle design, right? So everything you see, there's curves come into curves, and then it finally comes into an arc tangent where it comes into the straight side up against the lean-to here and the pole barn. That was by design, and it was intentional. So oftentimes customers come to us, and the biggest complaint we get is their patio's too hot, their driveway's too hot, their sidewalk's too hot. So they want to have a material that's much cooler on their feet, which is oftentimes why they pick a travertine or a marble. Certain circumstances it works, and certain times it doesn't work based on the water chemistry, for example. Marble is sometimes more dense or less dense depending on what cut you get. Same thing with travertine, so you have to be careful what type of material you put around your swimming pool. In this particular case, we were comfortable putting a high dense marble that contrasted the actual coping. We picked two different colors there, so the pool actually jumped out of the design a lot more. One of the really unique things we did here was with the coping, we wanted to have very uniform pieces on a radius. It's very, very difficult to achieve that with manual labor and cutting. So we had this templated with very sophisticated equipment, similar to the way they do granite countertops in homes. And we came out and we shot every single point in 2-foot increments all the way around the pool so we can get the exact curvature of the pool. And then we templated that through a fabrication company. We had material set, and those pieces were cut out. In doing that, it's a very expensive process because in essence you're wasting 50% of the material you're using, but the look is very uniform and very consistent. I think really gives an upscale look to the swimming pool. It also defines the edge much cleaner than if you were just to do 6-inch bricks, cut every single piece like a piece of pizza. It really makes it stand out and gives it a really true uniform look. After the fabrication is done, we actually get a puzzle that we have to put together. Every single piece is numbered and lettered for which side's the face, which goes inside the water, and where it goes on the swimming pool. And you have to make sure all of your joints are set correctly. In this particular case, we're at 5/8 of an inch. If we were to set them at 3/8 of an inch or 3/4 of an inch, somewhere along the line, the puzzle's not gonna fit. Before we would just do spacers on one side and not the other. Now we space everything out, and we make sure the overhang in the lip of the pool is what it should be, so that way we hold the radius true all the way around. Wow. It's a much more expensive process, much more expensive installation, but again, the look that you get with it is very high end, and it really accentuates that pool. I can't stop looking at this, how good this looks. Like how hard it is to get natural stone on that radius. Really difficult. So some additional features that we have on the swimming pool that are attached. We have an attached spa, which we talked about. We have a slide We have a future waterfall going in, hopefully at the end of the season. We have 4 laminar jets that come out of the actual patio into the water. They also have lighting. We have 5 lights in the swimming pool. Color is often important with customers, and we do an illumination analysis to make sure that we can get the color right for them. Not just put light in the swimming pool, but make sure it's a functional light. But if you design it right and you have an equal flow like we do there, right, everything's very consistent, and you put a light on that in the water, it'll literally come up the, it'll come up the water itself. It's really, really cool looking. Right here, there's a light. It's shining directly at that feature, and that's intentional by design. So with the spillway, we took a lot of time and effort, this is a total true story, in trying to make that come down to where it wasn't a crash. We wanted a very soothing acoustic. So we spent time where we actually got plywood, believe it or not, and sanded plywood down at different angles. So we would hear the water crash into the swimming pool and make sure that it had a really soothing acoustic, not a loud crashing acoustic. So that's one thing we did with that. So we worked with our fabrication company to actually take that piece of wood that we made, and they put it through their machines and machined it to the exact angle that we wanted so we can get the acoustic we wanted based on the flow rate, obviously, that we put through the spa. So that was really cool. And the other thing with that is too, if you don't design them correctly, the water comes back and it'll actually crash against the spa, in essence draining your pool. So there's a lot that went into that little piece of stone right there that looks beautiful and sounds equally as beautiful. The visual shouldn't compete with the acoustic, in my opinion. Oftentimes when you come into a yard this size, you think you have this big open canvas and it's really easy to design, and that's not the case. It's actually the complete opposite. To try to utilize the space and make it functional space is very, very difficult. You have to design something that complements that space, and sometimes you can do that by accommodating the same size. Sometimes you can do that by designing towards a smaller space that accents the larger space. In this particular design, we decided to complement it with a large-scale project. The client ended up building a huge outdoor pole barn with a lean-to as additional covered space. So we have multiple areas within this yard for entertainment. We have an area for cooking, we have an area for eating, and you can enjoy all the space as one or apart.